So how are you, Josh?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Uh,
How about you?
I'm doing good, man. You know, it's been a restful day, I think. Really
That's,
can't. It's hard to, no, not really that restful because I've been doing a little bit of work here and there,
mhm.
and my mom she's spending that weekend with us at the house, so you know, hasn't been too bad overall. What about yourself?
Um, it's been a pretty good day. Um,
Yeah,
been spent time with my girlfriend.
yeah,
Hold on, real quick.
yeah, no problem.
Spent time with my girlfriend.
Yeah,
Went to go see my best friend's grandmother.
okay.
It's like both of my grandparents, set of grandparents, no longer living. So
Oh, okay. So she's like your grandparent.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I introduced
Yeah.
her to my
Oh
girlfriend.
wow. So y'all went together.
Yep,
That's
yep.
great, man.
Yeah, so we
Mhm.
spent time with them.
That's
It was
cool.
a good little, it was a good little adventure.
Yeah.
This, man, it's always good to just listen to the older generation and get an outlook on life and everything.
It's a
Um,
different outlook, that's for sure.
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So did she enjoy meeting her, your best friend's grandparent? Yeah.
Yep, most definitely.
Good. Good. How long y'all been together now? You and your lady.
Yesterday was 4 months, man.
Wow. That's great. So y'all started dating at the beginning of this year?
Yep, it's like we started
Wow.
talking in December of 2022.
Wow. That's great. That's great. How'd y'all meet?
Oh man,
Really? That's how I met my wife. I met her online.
yep, man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but I actually met her through ChristianMingle.com years ago,
Okay,
back in 2013, actually. So this year will be 10 years since we first started talking to each other.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah. So think about that. Flash forward 10 years. So we got married in January 21st of 2017. I proposed to her on August 1st of 2015. And yeah, so we've been married now for about 6 years.
That's great, man.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the best thing that's ever happened to my life.
Man, it's like that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. It's like it's good to
All the good
hear.
things I have in my life is because of being married to her. I'll say that. That is a 10 billion percent, without a
You know,
doubt.
it's like man, that's great to hear, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't
So
hear many good things about marriage these days.
well, I can say one thing that is an absolute certainty: marriage will change the both of you.
Yeah,
No, no, there is no hesitation on that. So, it's a great work. And some days are good, some days are bad, but it's still a great work.
that's awesome.
Hmm. That's probably the that's probably the most even keel answer I can give you about marriage.
Yeah,
Not to sway you one way or the other. That way you can kind of look at it from your own point of view.
yeah.
And you know, is she your first serious girlfriend or
No, not my first serious relationship. I had
what?
one, but she is definitely taking over like the most serious in my mindset.
Oh, there you go. There you
Like
go. That's
me
good.
in a place like, you know what? Like
I can see myself settling down.
it's like, yeah, or not even settling down, and you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
just like growing in my,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
good. Yeah,
like
that's that.
nothing wrong with settling down, but like you know, I like the idea of growing better.
Yeah. Well, it's I will say this. Settling down isn't a bad thing because you can actually settle down and grow.
That's true.
So just think about it this way. When like a plant, if a plant is uprooted from the ground and you settle it down in a good land and it has good roots to grow down into the land, it can grow properly. You can put a plant anywhere.
Yeah,
However, it will have the most it'll be most likely to grow better if it's planted in good soil, good ground,
yeah.
the right environment. And I, from what the way you talk about her, I can just see from watching your face that she's doing a good thing inside you, and so I can tell.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love it. What I love even more is our shared love of anime. Like I
Oh
was
yeah.
telling Mrs. Hawk tonight, is like I'm looking forward to this one because we were originally going to do it like early tomorrow, and then you said, "Well, can we do it right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can do it right now," because people that know me and have kind of seen uh, some of the things before, they know that I'll throw in an anime reference somewhere at some point in time. So
Oh yeah.
being able to talk to somebody about anime and just go completely just like because they don't get the reference. Like if I make a reference to Blue Lock, they're just like, oh okay, yeah, okay, I got it, yeah, sure, whatever. Before I talk about something that happened in today's episode of Hell's Paradise, and you've at least watched a couple of the episodes, you're just like, oh yeah,
Man,
because
have you
that.
started Paradise yet?
Yes, I finished episode 3 tonight, actually.
I haven't started it yet, but it's definitely on
Oh
my.
my god, the action in that show is unbelievable.
And
It's really well animated.
it's like I just finished Shinobi no Ito.
Uh-huh.
I finished that this morning, and it was okay. It was
Yeah,
it wasn't the best anime. Um,
yeah.
it
Which one is
was
that one?
it's about a guy that he didn't know he was a part of a ninja clan, but he ends up.
Yes. It's set in modern times, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It was all right. I liked it because it was a different interpretation of the ninja.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
how it ends.
I, I just I just really didn't like I like a traditional ninja outfit or
Yeah, yeah,
more closely like have a ninja feel. Like even though
yeah.
Naruto didn't really have like ninja specific outfits, but some people
Right.
did.
Yeah, it did have that. Yeah, especially in situations where they like like you had the assassin hit squad and they'll just kind of appear, like disappear. That had a very ninja-esque feel to it. But what I like about Hell's Paradise, I don't do you know the main character, Gabimaru the Hollow?
No.
The main character is a ninja.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what's really sucked me into it more than anything else. Is the main character himself is an actual ninja. I didn't like I've never heard of Hell's Paradise, so I thought it was like a fantasy type setting type anime, but it's actually set. The setting of it is actually in like distant past Japan. So it's more
Yeah.
like a ninja scroll type of feel to it. So it's not like a fantasy thing, but it has fantasy elements. But so that first episode, I didn't know what to expect out of it. But I love how they just automatically just straight into the first episode, they're diving into the backstory a little bit.
Yeah. It's like I actually watched a YouTube video of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily like you know what the story is about. I saw the
Yeah.
preview, and you know how YouTube like recommends videos, so
Yeah.
it was telling me it was part of, like the Dark trilogy, um, because you get Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
Dice. Because I want
Yeah.
to say,
That darker horror theme type stuff.
like so I was like, if it's like any of like those two, man, because I started Chainsaw Man and I had no idea what to expect. Like, I think that's what I've been loving about some of the newer anime. It's like I went into Jujutsu Kaisen, had no idea what to
No
expect,
idea. No idea.
and it is just phenomenal.
Yes. 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 And it's just an interesting way of like talking about like that whole supernatural world that you would never think about and the interpretation of it. And some another show that's really surprising me just in from the there's got a lot of Isekai animes and stuff, but the one that I like that is the Death Play Death Mount. That one is a really interesting one too because it's a reverse Isekai in which the character is from a fantasy world pulled into our world.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it's and that's all I'm gonna say about it because I don't want to spoil it. Because right at the end of the first episode, I sat there and I was like, oh wow, that is different because the way the episode starts out, there's this battle in the fantasy world, and then they kind of you see this event happen, and then the this character is pulled into our world. And so you see him in our world. He's trying to get his bearings as to where he is, what's going on. And then at the end of the episode, it has this interesting little twist to it. So it's worth catching. It's worth checking out just simply because of the how
Is
this like twist on it.
is it on Crunchyroll?
Yeah, yeah. I watch pretty much 90% of my stuff is on Crunchyroll. I don't know
Like,
if I could handle another anime channel subscription. I'm just so glad that Crunchyroll and Funimation combined.
what's the name of it again?
It is called Death Mount Death Play or I can look it up right now. I don't want to.
All right, I found it.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting it added. Um, you
yeah.
know,
I
I
got
am
so much stuff in my list, man.
like, I just added some stuff. Today I was on
Uh,
Instagram
yeah,
and it was a dude like you know how the algorithm does.
yeah,
Um, and it's like one that I found that they recommended is it was called Vivi Fluorite Eyes Song.
yeah. Vivi, is it on Crunchy?
Yep.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
okay, I see it. Oh, it's got 4 seasons. Okay,
so,
I gotta check that out.
and
I think that one was originally on Funimation. I think.
um and I got one that I put in my I didn't see it on Crunchyroll, but it was on Sentai.
Uh-huh.
Um it's like I probably just buy it, but it was called Beyond the Boundary.
Beyond the Boundary. Okay.
Yeah.
Another one that I've watched that's pretty interesting is it's called Kamikatsu. And so what this one's about, it's another Iseki type anime. The the main character is the son of a cult leader who this cult worships a particular god. So he gets transported into a world where they don't know what a god is. So he is actually basically bringing like religion into a world that's never had experienced religion before.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's
Sort of
it's
sound like
very it's like Konosuba a little bit.
sounds like you ever seen the movie The Invention of Lying?
Yes, yes. It's Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, that's sort of that reminds me
That's
of.
that's exactly what it's like. And then the season 3 of Doctor Stone and Demon Slayer, those are just really great episodes. The it's just top notch. Just they're so good what they're doing, just bringing that back.
It's like I can never
I,
get into um
by the time you get it about season 3 of Demon Slayer, you're in. You're in on it. It starts really slow, but it gets really good. Same thing with Doctor Stone. It's slow, but after you get into the next those few episodes, do you get used to the humor or the references and stuff like that? What I like about Doctor Stone 3, season 3, is they start using like little Minecraft references. So that's fun.
like I love me some Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
It's like Demon
It's
Slayer. It's like it's one thing that I love about and appreciate about Demon Slayer
uh
is that the animation of it. It's just
yes.
done so
Yes.
it's so
Yes.
masterfully done. Like even when I went to go see the movie, the anime of it was just off the wall. You know,
So what was the first show that got you into anime, or what movie that got you into anime?
so um, me and my brothers didn't know we were watching anime,
Uh
but Dragon Ball Z would probably be the first show.
yes.
But when
Yes.
Blockbuster was still a thing, um, we would go to the Blockbuster and we would pick out anime movies, not knowing it was anime movies.
Yeah.
So what we would get like Fatal Fury,
Oh yeah, that was a good one. What about
like
Fatal Fury the motion picture?
yes, it's like
Fatal Fury 1, 2, but the motion picture was really good.
um, and
What about
we
Street Fighter the animated movie?
yep, Street Fighter animated
Yeah.
Tekken,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I want to say, let me see if I could find it. I found this. I got it actually.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, it's
It's
the
like
collection, so it's all three in one.
that's the motion picture one right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
so
I
you get
wish they would done a what's his name? King of Fighters anime. I wish they would have done a King of Fighters anime series. I know they had like a
yeah
small one, but I wish they would have go back and like really make a King of Fighters series.
yeah. It's like I wish they would too because the movie was great.
Yeah,
Like and Tekken would have been another movie that we watched.
yeah,
Um, even though like we played the game like
yeah,
Tekken 2 PlayStation,
yeah.
but they had an anime movie that we watched,
Right.
and
And that was
you
garbage.
know, man, but we watched like man, we used to love it. And
Yeah.
then the movie that this hooked us in like was Akira.
Oh yeah. Everybody has a reference to Akira. I remember watching Akira. It's in the 90s, I think. But my first anime that I was ever introduced when I started watching was it's a show called Project Echo. I remember watching it with a friend of mine down in Crestview, Florida. That's how I started. I remember watching like Robot Carnival, Vampire Hunter D. Yeah, yeah,
Vampire D, man. Like
yeah.
like I went on a vampire kick. Um it was a me and my brother watched the vampire anime on Hulu called the Black Blood Brothers.
Black Blood Brothers. I never heard of
Yeah,
that one.
like it's
I'll have to
pretty
look at
good.
that one.
It's
I watched Alucard, I think, was one of them. Blood was one of them.
mhm.
There's not the I can't really think of a lot of, but Vampire Hunter D, that is definitely the one. As far as vampire animes, that it just immediately comes to mind. That's like the top of the list,
Yes.
easily,
So
easily.
It's not a lot of, I wouldn't say it's crazy to think it's not really a lot of
No,
Empire anime.
no, not that
Um,
I can. Yeah,
um,
not that you can think of.
yeah, unless it's like
Not none that are really good. You know.
that's known in America, I would say. It might
Yeah.
be something that it's not the only like how, and I'm think we're sticking to Japanese anime. It's like, but I would throw
Mhm.
Castlevania in there on the Netflix
Oh yeah,
series.
Castlevania. Yeah.
Like,
Castlevania was definitely good.
but as far as like Japanese anime about vampires, I can't really think of a
It doesn't
lot.
really come to mind. Yeah, but yeah, Castlevania is definitely good. Yeah. Um. Yeah, it's interesting. And then I'm just trying to think of some. Like I pretty much watch. There's nothing that I won't watch. You know, I pretty much watch any anime. I've never been the type to just say, "No, I'm not going to watch that." I just, you know, I'm more of a sports anime guy, but Iseki's type stuff is really drawing me in. But yeah, Blue Lock was definitely that really took me by surprise because I could care less about soccer, but you know that one definitely caught my attention.
Like, man, anime has a appeal that even though you don't like a sport particularly,
You'll
if
watch it.
because I've never been into volleyball.
Yeah, exactly. But didn't Haikyuu draw you in?
Man, it's good. Like I'm a football person,
Right.
but watching Haiku and Kuriko's basketball, like
Yeah.
Kuriko's basketball is probably one of my top. It's in my top 10.
Oh yeah, easily. Because the way they develop the characters and also they give you the backstory and just I mean, my gosh. I mean, it's just, you know, the
Like,
just the yeah, that Kirko's basketball. I told my best friend, Chris Beaver down in Florida, it's like, hey, if you need a because we used to play basketball together, if you need a like an anime basketball to watch, that's the one that you need to watch.
yeah, it's like, you know, I, I got a question for you. What appealed you? What's appealing about anime to you?
Well, so to answer that question, I have to tell you how I got like for me, the only type of anime that I used to watch, and this is before I got on Crunchyroll, was it had to be dubbed anime because I didn't, you know, I didn't have an interest in reading the subtitles and all that stuff. But a friend of mine by the name of Jessica, she told me about Crunchyroll. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. And when I got into Crunchyroll and I saw all these different animes, you know, it just got to a place where I didn't want to wait until the dubbed version of the show came out. I just started like watching them. And so I think it was sports animes that drew me in. I think Kuriko's basketball, that was the one that kind of it drew me in and then it drew me into everything else around it. Like Ace of the Diamond, like Iseki, like Sword Art Online. They could be romance ones. They could be comedies. It could be anything. Because once I started watching that and I got past the whole reading the subtitle thing,
Yeah,
it just started snowballing. And then, I will say if it's an anime that I'm kind of the types of anime that I'm like I really don't try to watch. If it's like poorly animated, it really doesn't. I mean, it has to be a really good storyline to draw me in. But for the most part, I think it's the animation more than anything else. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm sitting here watching the show and it's animated. Like it's like watching like regular TV with somebody. So
yeah,
that people will say, "Oh, you're just sitting there watching cartoons." Like, look, you find something that you're interested in, and if I can find it in this anime thing, you watch it and you tell me it doesn't suck you in. Like I could care less about cycling, but Yawamushi pedal. But the little cycling guy in high school, I got drawn in on that.
man, it's like anime just has such a great appeal to your,
Yeah,
it just pulls you in,
it
and
does. It's well
like,
written storylines.
and I think that's it. I think that's what appeals to me the most now.
Yeah,
About my first appeal to anime was the fighting and the
right.
action sequences.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, Dragon Ball Z. It's like I'm
yeah,
ready, like ready for that fight. And some,
yeah, yeah,
um, like when I watch, Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that.
yeah,
I was an action junkie, so I
yeah,
look all that, like Bleach. Like
yeah, yeah,
like that's what I loved about anime at first, but over the years and being introduced to this different type of anime, like, man, when I got introduced to A Promised Neverland, like
yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow.
that was just like, I'm watching
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That
yeah.
that just kind of just opened up more doors for me. Um,
Right. Promised
to,
Neverland's a good one. That really is
it's,
a good one.
and man, a friend recommended it, of Silent Voice to me,
Silent Voice, yeah.
the
Okay.
movie, and
Uh-huh.
I was just like, because I was like, man, I'm not about to watch no, like, you know lovey-dovey type stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Man, I watched that movie. I was just like, and the girl went through bullying and stuff like that. I was just like, wow, this it just has such a great
That
story storyline, and
right.
I think that's what American, like, shows sometimes, and like characters, and like I love comic books too.
Yeah.
Um, but one thing that I put manga and anime over comic books is like they give the opportunity for the characters to grow. They give the
Yes.
opportunity for the characters to build families and to have things.
Right.
And it's like, even though they're like this hero, or this
Yeah.
person saving something, it's like, you know, but with American, you know, shows and cartoons and comics, sometimes it's just like it's just super depressing, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. Like some of them just they follow this storyline, and then once the storyline's done, they move to the next storyline. Versus, if you look at a show like Dragon Ball through its iterations, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and its proper continuation, which is Dragon Ball Super, you've watched Goku grow up for 20, 30 years, and you've
Yeah.
watched his evolution of being this little kid to this young man to this father to this
Now,
and he's you know grandfather, and that's just one level of, and it's not really a like a serious show. And then you look at Naruto has definitely had an evolution from as a child to his you know growing up into his teenage years into now his adult years, and now he has a son. It's one of those things that they're willing to play a longer game with their character development, and instead of like the storylines that they move into, it's a continuation of their overall life. Versus like in a comic book storyline, it's like the characters, they don't really age. You'll see this alternate timeline of a character aged, but you don't see them age over time, which from a monetary standpoint, I get it, because you gotta keep everybody hooked in. But see, I think in the Japanese mindset, there's an end to the story.
yeah.
You're gonna play it out to the end.
And I think,
Look at The Simpsons. The Simpsons have never aged. South Park, those characters have never aged. Different stories, they're still the same age. Family Guy, same way. You know?
and I think that's what's beautiful about the Japanese culture, is that they progress things and they
Mm-hmm.
allow room. Like, even though it's millions of different anime, and
Right.
some of them have similar stories and similar
Right.
work framework of how they are operating, but
Right.
it gives the opportunity for something fresh and new. It's
Yeah.
like for me, like even though I love Spider-Man or Superman or Batman,
Right.
it's still like, oh, that's a Batman story. That's a
Yeah.
super story. It's like,
Right.
but with anime, like even though it might be in a category
Right.
of same genre, like I don't know what to expect from
Exactly.
episode to episode because when I
Right.
watch Par it's similar to other anime, but
Right.
it moves you differently of how they
Yes.
do. And
Yeah.
like even with Samurai Champloo, like you have these
Yeah.
characters. It's like and you
Yeah.
can compare that to Cowboy Bebop, but it's
Right.
told different
It's a
way,
completely different way. Yeah.
and they work it in a different
Yeah.
frame that's this
Yeah.
put together greatly, and it's a new
Yeah.
set of
Yeah. You're
people.
right.
Like I don't
Right.
get tired of anime because it's always somebody new to see.
It,
You know?
have you ever watched Space Dandy?
No.
So Space Dandy was, I believe, that was the third iteration of the guy that created Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. And it's apparently there's this kind of rumor that all three, they're all within the same universe and all connected to each other generationally.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's that, but that's just a, we don't know if that's true or not. But
Good
and
theory.
there's also this show I'm watching is called My Home Hero. Now this is the variety of anime and why I love anime so much. What this anime is about, it's about a father who is uh he's just an average father going about his job, going about his day, and he goes to check on his college daughter, and his college daughter is actually dating this guy who's, I guess he's part of the Yakuza or whatnot. And so it gets to a very interesting situation because, and this is a spoiler, but it's still worth watching. He ends up having to kill her boyfriend,
Oh
and
wow.
and they and the Yakuza are trying to find out what happened to him. So he's trying to cover up killing this guy and trying to protect his daughter. His wife now knows what happened. So they're in it together to try to protect themselves and protect their daughter. I mean, it really, I didn't think I'd like it that much, but I think I'm into the third episode now, and I'm really drawn into it simply because he's a regular guy, and you're seeing his thought process of like, okay, like how do we keep them from knowing that this happened?
And what's the
It's
name?
it's called My Home Hero. I'll send it into the messenger. But it what drew me into it is the fact that you get to see his thought process of as he's trying to like figure out what to do, how his next steps. And I mean it, like the most recent episode, it was really, I mean, I was like, there's no way that they can end the show like here. It's only like two episodes in. This guy can't die already. But
Yeah.
just thinking through how to try to outmaneuver the Yakuza, I mean, it's a losing. I don't. I think by the end of the show that everybody's going to, all the whole family's going to be dead. It's got to be an unwinnable, situation. But I could be surprised. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely sucked me in.
Like what was your most what anime surprised you the most?
Goblin Slayer, Goblin Slayer, right out the gate. That one surprised me the most. I thought it was just going to be like a very, like a timid fantasy type thing. But that first episode, man, I was just like, what am I watching? Yeah, Goblin Slayer definitely surprised me. Uh, just because the animation was so good, the action was so intense, and just some of the scenes were just out of this world. That one surprised me the most,
Album
really
series, I mean,
quickly. That one really surprised me really quickly. Yeah,
It's
that
like
one comes off the top of my head very fast.
like I think one of my most surprising anime is I have two. Kami got killed.
Uh-huh.
That first episode,
Yeah.
like I thought it was gonna be like based off the name, I was like, I thought this was gonna be like action.
Yeah.
And in the first episode, it's like he's just walking around so happy,
Yeah.
like, and it was just like, oh, no big deal. But then at the end of the episode, it was
Uh-huh.
just that whoa, that wow factor. And
Yeah.
then like one of my friends recommended that I watch. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yes. Yes.
I was like,
The name of this is like it is absolutely not the name of the like that has nothing to do with that, you know?
like what? Like watching right now? It's like, what is this? Like that sounds like really creepy. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was like, no, man, like
It-
you got to
just
check it.
ignore the name of the title. Just ignore the title name and just start watching it.
It's like I don't get. Maybe it's just like a translation thing
I think so. I think
because
so. It's got to be.
because it has nothing to do.
Nothing to do with picking up girls in a dungeon.
Like, 'cause- and they don't even reference it in the name.
No, not at all. And there's nothing at all that like in his like behavior that he's trying to pick up anybody. You know, that doesn't happen at all. And by the way, I know you're a big fan of My Hero Academia. I have so many seasons to catch up on that thing. It's going to be a while before I can catch up to it.
Man, you just got to put your head down and this watch, man. This past like I got burnt out. It took me probably one of the reasons why I haven't been watching anime like back to back like I
Yeah,
normally had.
yeah.
But back like at the end of last year, I went through um Black Clover. I
Oh
watched
man,
I I watched
that's a
all
lot.
175 episodes of
Oh
that.
my God. See, I spaced mine out based on like I never really committed to like one show that had a lot of seasons. Instead, I spaced it out by like snippets of shows that I like. So that's why I never got burnt out. But I personally I love the night. If you had to ask me what category that I will absolutely stop everything I'm doing and watch, it's anything to do that's like a food related anime
Hmm.
or if it's a has to I any of my like my old like favorite ones like Haikyuu or Kuroko's basketball like those I could easily pick up and watch. But I do have a very good fondness for Baki. I love Baki the Grappler. That's one that makes me jump. Like in between Netflix and Crunchyroll, those are the two. Like I'll cycle back and forth just to see if there's anything new.
Like I started the Netflix Baki. I thought it was okay. It was just
Yeah,
funny. It was
yeah.
completely different with the original Baki.
Well, what you talking about the movie Baki the Grappler, the one that the where he's fighting Baki, you know,
No,
the
the anime that came out
series. Yeah,
like
the back Baki the Grappler. Yeah, the series. Yeah, I
like
like it because it is true. It is it's different. But once you get to, I think the third season of Baki, where they go against the convicts, the animation starts to get a little bit better, less CGI. But it really changes in Baki Hanma. I don't really see that unnecessary CGI in there. I don't know why. Save the CGI for I don't know, maybe the objects in the background. Don't use it on the creatures. or the fighters, just leave it to straight animation. When you start using that CGI animation on the fighters, I'm just like, oh man, I gotta stop. I can't.
Like the only CGI like animated movie. Yeah, excuse me.
No, you're good.
Um, and I did not think I would like it as much,
Hmm.
but Dragon Ball Super actually pulled it off. The newest movie
Oh, really?
where with Pick
Super. It was a superhero. Is that the one?
yeah with Gohan he goes.
Yeah, yeah. Is that on Crunchyroll yet?
I don't think so. Like I know it's out on Blu-ray and DVD. It's
Okay.
like I went in the movie like didn't expect it to be great, but it turned out to
Yeah,
be
even
pretty
with the
good.
CGI. Huh. Okay. Well, that's
Like
something I'll keep in mind.
still not a huge fan of the CGI.
Yeah.
Like now I feel like it to me I feel like it works better with American cartoons.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because um Into
I
the
wonder
Spider
why
Verse,
that is.
I don't know. Like because Into the Spider Verse is this chef kiss.
I
It's a
need to I need to watch that one. Is that on Netflix?
no.
It's probably on Disney though.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. It should be. Should be on
So
Disney.
it, like they did such a good job with that. But the CGI on it, like how they did it, it works. But
Hmm.
I don't know why it seems to work better with American cartoons than it
I don't
does.
know either.
Maybe it might be because they have like
The
I want to say
budget for it?
maybe we are tuned to view anime in a certain sense that
Maybe.
and if you mess with that formula, it kind of just throws off the whole thing.
Maybe. I do find it interesting that, that our minds can look at certain CGI in a Japanese anime like, oh, that is just terrible. Versus you see it in American, it just doesn't. It's not the same response. Maybe because the quality maybe is so much higher that the CGI is so noticeably different,
Oh yeah, like
and the expectation. Maybe that's what it is. Is it's the inherent expectation of it?
I think the artistry of it is. I think
Yeah.
it's the appealing thing of anime as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
in some sense, like the artistry within an anime can save the anime and
Yeah.
just get so lost into like how spectacular it looks, and
Right.
CG takes away from that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't. Grab you in, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe that's what it is. I just
because
I just know that, it's its own complete category. I mean, if you go look on Hulu or Netflix or anywhere, I mean, you've got your romance, you got your animation, and then you have anime, you know? It is its own complete category, which is amazing at its growth
yeah,
over the years.
like, and I think another reason CGI might not be as appealing is like the movement of like
Yeah, blocky.
almost like when especially in action scenes you can just tell like
You can
it's
tell.
not fluid. It's like it's not
Yeah,
moving in the way that you
yeah.
expected.
Which is, I wonder if like AI, especially since AI is being able to generate art, if over time AI is going to actually help CGI become more fluid.
So I'm not sure.
It might. Who knows? Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't know how much I feel too greatly on the AI thing, man.
Well, you're not the only one. Trust me. I've watched enough Terminator movies to be like, I mean, how can we even think this is a good idea? Like,
I,
come on, guys.
I don't see how we can think it's a good idea. It's like,
Well, and it's like you and I aren't the only person that thinks that. There's multiple people in the U.S., let alone the world. So, that's not let's not be naive here. Now, the other side of it is maybe it could end up being a good thing. Maybe we'll end up, you know, with cybernetic implants and yada yada yada. But I just don't think this is a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea at all.
But that's all I gotta say about it. I mean, powers greater than us have opened that door. So,
Yeah.
all I can do is complain about it.
Yep.
People being moved by money and all that stuff. It's like, well, we can get it done quicker, faster. It's like just because you get it done quicker, faster doesn't mean it's good quality
Nope.
or it's going to have a good result.
Nope.
That's the worst thing you can do is try to get it done quicker. Doesn't mean it's better.
That's true.
But man, I just wanted to do a quick little episode with you
Man.
just so we can just get this thing started because like I said, I really want to do one have its own thing where we just kind of just sit back and we talk about different shows and stuff like that because
Yeah.
I love anime so much and I'm glad to be able to talk with somebody that can just like make a reference to an anime but needs to be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about versus like I can that's okay.
Yeah, man. Man, I've enjoyed this conversation, man.
Yeah. So if you had to say in this um uh I don't know what it's called. I guess you call it semester of Crunchyroll, what's your top three
Um,
of the spring season, I guess. I guess they would call it spring season.
I'm gonna go with Chainsaw Man be included in this.
Nope, we're going with right now, spring 2023.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like Hill's Paradise.
Yep.
It's like
You are gonna definitely like Hell's Paradise, trust me.
I'm just gonna um
Okay.
Handyman in Another
Okay.
World.
Okay. Because I really liked Handyman in Another World, we'll bring that one in from the winter 2023. We'll bring that one in. Okay, we'll bring that one in. Okay.
What, I really don't know because I haven't really.
You haven't had a chance to really get into this. Okay, all right. Well, what about from last winter 2023? What's your top three?
Chainsaw Man,
Yep.
Handyman. It's like
Uh
Blue Lock.
uh and Handyman. Okay. My top three is Campfire Cooking in Another World, of course.
Hmm.
Handyman. And gosh, that's tough because there was quite a few good ones. That's really tough for me to say. Um, and it has to be a new show too, not just because I don't want to put Bungo Stray Dogs on there because I've already watched that one before. Just a continuation. Let's see. Okay. Campfire Cooking in Another World, Blue Lock. My third one would have to be hmm. I'm gonna have to go because the way it ended, it kind of hooked me in, was the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. That
Uh,
one's really good. Yeah. Yeah. But Chainsaw Man is definitely Man, that show is wild too.
Yeah,
Denji's wild.
I did not expect. I went in there. I was just like,
I was so skeptical. The name alone, I was just like, Chainsaw Man. What are you kidding me? What the heck is it? It reminded me a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen, the whole supernatural aspect of it, you know.
yeah,
Yeah. I can't wait till that one gets another season. That's gonna be a good one. Well, I guess it gave us some time for you to be able to kind of absorb some of this stuff from the new spring 2023 season.
oh yeah,
Uh well, we'll catch up again soon.
yep. Sounds good, man.
All right, man. I'll
You have
see
a good
you.
one.
You too, bud.
All right.
Bye.